Hi everyone and welcome back. In this lesson we're going to look at understanding our sense blocks in Scratch coding. So let's get started. So first of all, here's what you're going to be learning. What is sense? Why is sense useful in coding? How is sense used in Scratch coding? So what is sense? Sense refers to something we can see, touch, hear, taste, or smell. See, here in our games, they're touching each other, so it's impact. Smell, sight, taste, hearing, touch. These are all natural senses to us, and it's essential in all things we do in everyday life. Same as it is when we design code. So why is sense useful in coding? Well, it helps our code work better together as many events that take place can be based off sense. For example, if any of you have played Super Mario, you know that when he lands on gold coins, he gets points. And if he lands on a poisonous mushroom, well, he gets really hurt. So how is sense used in Scratch coding? Well, you've already seen these keyboard key sensing blocks. And what I mean by that is left arrow, right arrow, down arrow, up arrow. This is all based on touch and then instructing with an if statement that if you touch the left arrow, you change your X statement negatively, or if you touch the right arrow, you change your X positively to the right. That's based entirely on touching buttons on your keyboard. Now let's take a look at these color sensing blocks. If you touch this color, you're going to glide to this location. If you touch this color, you're going to glide to this location, and that's part of touching color. How is sense useful in Scratch coding? Well, in Scratch coding, you use sensing blocks to help control how your sprites react when touching other sprites or colors. So in this exercise, we're going to touch one color, then touch the other color, then move back to this point. So let's take a look. Okay guys, so I'm going to quickly show you what we are going to do in our sensing exercise. So the aim of the game is that from here we touch this color, then we touch this color, then we go back. So let's play the code and then let's build it ourselves. So great. So remember, this is based on color touch. We will revisit the arrow key touch just now. So let's rebuild this. Okay, so we all know how to get our grid backdrop. Now, let's start with the code. Okay, so first things first, we need to have an event. So when the green flag is clicked, then we want code that says, okay, when we move to this point where there's going to be a colored line, and then this point, we come back to the center. So let's draw those colored lines. Okay, so let's go to our backdrops and edit. Okay, so first of all, we've got that purple automatically for me. You might have a different color automatically. Do not worry, just find a purple color. Then we're going to have a paintbrush and we're going to make it quite thick because we want it to be a nice big line. Okay, and then we're going to draw it here on the side. You can make it nice and thicker if you want. Then we're going to take maybe a neon green and draw it on this side. Nice thick color so it's easy to find. Okay, now we're going to head over to our code. So we've got the when the green flag is clicked. Now we're going to have our code that says let's go here. So we need to have a starting point. So go to x0, y0. Then we're going to make sure we glide over here. So what are those coordinates? Glide here. I'm going to make it maybe 2 seconds. And then we're going to make sure that if we're touching this color, we move here, because of course we are touching this color. So we're going to need an if statement and a forever loop or a repeat loop. So let's say repeat. And we can say repeat 4 times just for the sake of it. So we're going to say, okay, here, if touching a color and touches in sense. So we're going to go over here and we're going to click over on this color, use this drop icon, drag it over this color because it has to be exactly the same as the color on our board. If not, the code won't work. So we're going to get this color and we're going to say, okay, cool. If it touches this color, it must glide all the way over here as a reaction. Okay, so we're going to glide all the way there as a reaction, and then we're going to put another if statement in. And this is known as a nested if statement in most coding terms, which means like a nest, one item within another item. So one if statement within another. If it touches this color, it must glide there. Then if it touches this color, so we're going to use sensing and say if it touches that color, it must then go back to the center. And we know the center is 0, 0, so I'm going to just type that in. We're going to type 0, 0, and that's it. We can make both of these 1 second or 2 second, whatever you would like. So let's test it out. And there's your color sensing buttons. Remember, this will happen 4 times. I just stopped it earlier, but that's how our sensing exercise works. What if we wanted to use those sensing blocks I was talking to you about earlier? Those blocks where we touch the left and right and up and down arrows. Well, let's do that. What if we take out this bit, the glide? So we simply start at a certain point when the green flag is clicked. And we keep that there, but we rely on our controls. So we also say this is known as a multiple event. When the green flag is clicked, as you've seen in examples before, forever loop, because otherwise our code will only run once. If our up arrow is pressed, we're going to change our Y by 10. Now duplicate it to make your life easier. Down, if the down arrow is pressed, we're going to move by -10. If the left and right arrow are pressed, which is more important at this point, we're going to move our X. And if the right arrow is pressed, we're going to move to the right on our x-axis. Okay, so let's test our arrow keys. If I move up or down, my sprite's fine. If I move to the right, touches the green, so it moves back. If I move to the left, goes to the green, which then goes back. Cool. So you guys can play around with this. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one.